Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's podcast. I usually create points, but today I want to go for a change. Uh, can you still see me? Okay. So I want to tell today I have a very important topic because last week I mentioned that I will talk about a little bit about the red light and the biological too. And these are the ways to give our system more energy to support the change. But today I want to touch on that, but I also want to place it inside something much bigger because those two matters, energy matters and the structure matters. But the most important thing which matters most is the sovereignty. So without sovereign, every good tools can quietly turn into pressure. So today I want to focus on what it actually means to be sovereign in your own system. So what sovereign is and what it is not. So when people hear the word sovereign, we often think, oh, it's a control, or being strong, or like a queen energy, pushing back, or being difficult. And okay, I decide. Yeah, there's certain truth on that, and you're standing on your ground. But that is not what I mean. So it means that I have a voice inside of me that truly matters to me, and I don't need to get sick or have emotional explode or drama or collapse to be heard. So at its core, sovereign is actually trusting myself. I trusting myself. You trusting yourself. So it means the system no longer need to escalate to register your truth. It no longer need your body to escalate to register your truth. You know how you feel and you explain your position. So I have a quick question for you. Where in your life do you feel that you only get attention when something goes wrong? This is usually where the sovereign has been missing in the life. Like we might be very sovereign in certain area, but in some area that might be missing. So let's take a very systematic view, see why only the event itself doesn't change much. And because most of us, we will try to change our life. We want our life to be good and very well, better. But we change it at a level of events. Okay, a bad day, a bad argument, a symptom, a mistake. So we fix those things, right? We do our best to fix one thing. Then the same pattern comes back again. So because these events are not the root cause, they are only the outputs. So to understand the suffering, we need to look at the whole system underneath it. And I use a very good, very convenient, a 5 layers of system. So the first layer is the events itself. The events is what you notice. Oh, I feel anxious today. Okay, there's a pain today. Okay, there's a tension in the conversation. Oh, I feel joyful today. Something I create, it's very, I feel good about it. I feel connected. So these are the events, and just note them down. They are not where the lasting change happens, but just um, notice when something goes wrong, do you immediately try to fix the event, or do you pause to ask what is this event a part of? Okay, that's the first layer, the event. We notice the event. Okay, I have something with my daughter today, or I have an argument with someone, or I have a good day today. I connect with my friends, things like that. And the second layer are the patterns. So many events, we starting ask questions, we started noticing, wow, there's a patterns, and the pattern are on repeat, always this, always overgiving, always over promising, don't have enough time, or always late, always overthinking, or always on time, right? Or even always be there before time. Yeah, always crashing after progress, or always losing yourself in certain relationship. Like we have different patterns, but the pattern tells us one thing very clear: the system is protecting something. Okay, the pattern tells us the system is protecting something. So, what pattern in your life feels very familiar? Even you don't like it, what feels familiar? What pattern feels familiar? And what the pattern is protecting? Okay, now we go to the third layer. The third layer is structure. Structure is where how you organize your life, like your when you sleep, like your sleep timing, your meal timing, your pace, how you like when you do your work, and what kind of work you do, how you make it, like the stimulations and the connections and recovery and boundaries. So these are those biologic two belongs, like things like light exposure, red light therapy works very well, like for charging the ATP, and a consistent sleep schedule, or reducing stimulation at night, and all these things like happens and it works. It helps the structure, and when the structure is more stabilized, you have more energy. So they change capacity, and you can use like a simple example about the red light and energy. So I don't want to go into too much detail. You can do all the research, but very simply is that this red light therapy support ATP production, so that the basic cellular energy, like the mitochondria, and when energy is low, like nervous system becomes cautious, everything feels harder, and the change feels risky. But if we have more energy, things flows easier, recovery feels like faster and safer, regulation improves, and the system has a little bit more choice. So these tools can help on this level, because they can give the system more room. Yeah, so you can experiment yourself. I use a Sarah, like I use a pretty well like real life therapy too. I can show you later, but it's yeah, it's very good. So, but the key question is, do you try to change yourself, like when you're already exhausted? So these are more energy issue, right? You need to have a good structure so you can have more energy. And also there are very good framework like a blueprint. There's a person called Brian something, and he talk about those. He has a very good like practice in the blueprint. In those like eat earlier, sleep earlier, has set up a consistent bedtime and protecting your sleep, thinking your sleep is the most important thing. All of this works very well because I also test it with my like watch. I like data. I love data, so I know what he talks about. Something absolutely has a quite some like values in it. Yeah, something I haven't tested, but there's like the meditation he mentioned, but he only do 5 minutes of meditation. So he said, oh, before bed you can do a 5 minutes meditation. But from my research and the data, you if you do 20 minutes meditation, you need to do it finish it before 6 if your bedtime is like 10 11 something. So you need to finish it before 6, otherwise it will impact your sleep. So you can do all this research and data on yourself, but these are in the layer of like the structure layer. So the structure alone is not sovereign. The structure supports sovereign. When you have more energy, you have better. You are not slipping into those fields. You are more like easy breakout, right? So, but let's see another layer. Another layer, the layer 4. The layer 4 is system goal. Every system has a goal, even you never choose it consciously. So often the goal is not about a growth. It's prevention. It's protecting you. The preventing like okay, conflicting, instability, disappointment, loss of connection. So what does your system seem to trying very hard to avoid? Is it trying to avoid the break of like the break of a relationship, or is it hard to like always be the strong one, don't share the vulnerability, or so ask yourself this important question: what does the system seem to be trying very hard to avoid? That is your system goal. And you can notice your system, is it more in protection mode or in expansion mode, or it's in transition mode? Yeah. Now we go to the level 5. Level 5 is the paradigm and identity. This is the deepest level. So this is not a role, it's not personality, it's not your thoughts or a thought. It is like the operation system blocks. There's a lot of operational rules, like what feels allowed, what feels dangerous, what feels okay, what feels too much. So example is like, I shouldn't take up too much like space. Like I need to be very careful. I can't share it. I don't want to be responsible for their choice. Like rest need to be earned. Like I can't go to bed. I don't want to rest. Like rest need to be earned. So these are the belief you like these are the rules your system lives by. And most time it's very unconscious, like it's no you're conscious aware of it, because they just this system, these rules we learned in like imprints we learned in our childhood, so they have been running for a long time. We just think, oh, that's part of my personality, or that is part of like our situation or something, but it's not. It's an imprint you learn from somewhere, either family or yourself. Yeah. So and now I want to tell you something really helps me in acquire my own like sovereign. This is one very common way sovereign leaks is in the relationship, especially if you have a family in those dense relationships. Your sovereign is very easy to leak. And you know what I talk about, the kids, right? You ask kids to do homework, or you talk to your partner about something. So these are not because like they don't love you, they're bad to try and give you a hard time. These are most time it's because the position are unclear. It's not clear. So if you don't name your position, if you don't make it clear, people respond from their defaults. So often the default is fixing, advising, and correcting. Okay, I want to give you advice. And so even with good intention, they try to help you. They're your friends, right? Or your families. But they quietly take your authority away, and you don't feel good about it. You feel like they're they're pushing you down or something. But sometimes one sentence is enough. So we need to be, if you want to be sovereign, you need to make your position very clear. Okay, right now I'm sharing how I feel, and I don't need advice right now. So this is clarity. Other people knows how they can respond, rather than they just do it from their defaults. So I want to ask you, how often do you explain yourself instead of simply stating your positions? And would you like to try to put on how it feels to like say your positions, then then ask for what you want? So this is so practical way the sovereign shows up through the language we use to name our positions. And there's no argument, there's no drama, there's no explanation. It's just clarity. Clarity. Okay. I can give you 4 sentences. So the first one is, I'm sharing I don't need your advice. And then you can tell them like, oh, I don't need to reach a conclusion right now. I'm just like sharing some information or thought flows, but I don't need to reach a conclusion right now. So you take the pressure of like we have to make a decision right now away. And okay, please let me finish before you responding. And I have heard your input, but I will decide what to integrate. These are the position you can use and make it clear to help people establish your sovereignty. And if like even when these sentences feels hard to say, this is not a communication issue. This is a sovereign signal. So the sovereign is also your time and energy. It's not only emotions, it's also how you manage your time, how much rest you allow, how much pressure you normalize, how much pleasure or beauty you allow your system to receive. So if your schedule never have space, then your sovereign have nowhere to land. So the energy management is sovereign in action. And also there's like a beauty and the beauty and it's a very good way to tune your system. Something light your system up. You can notice it's different for everyone, but for me it's beauty. So if something looks very pretty, it gave more like my attention naturally goes there. So you need to notice, okay, where your attention goes naturally. That's the first question. Then when it goes there, like what's the first objecting thought? We have those objecting thought. Oh, that's too, maybe that's too expensive, but actually it's not. Oh, I need to save it for special occasion, for $3 like a small cake. Yeah. Or like I it looks so pretty. I need to save it for like special occasion or something like so. Everyone have their objecting thought, not allowing there to receive the thing. It doesn't. It's not receive the beauty, the pleasure. It's not about a lot of money. It may be just a walk outside, or or look at the sun a few minutes. Let yourself wind down, or like a few dollar, like something looks very pretty, but just a few dollars. But every time you see it, you feel good. So ask your question: what's the objection thought, and then feel how your body react after you allow yourself to receive it, either the beauty, either the rest, or something, right? How your body really feels. Is it a contrast, or like a contract, or is it expand? So how it feel in your body. Usually if your body system contract, it means that's not really good. But if it's expanded, that's more for you. Yeah. So I want to close here today, and because sovereign is not about doing more, it's more about understanding what your system is protecting, where your system is, and how much energy you actually have, and how you allow yourself to, what you allow yourself to respond to. So when the system feels safe, safe is absolutely the top priority. So when the system feels safe to open up, feel safe to express the vulnerability to the people they feel safe with, or group, or feel there's enough resources, either like last time I talked about the vertical, the spiritual, or the horizontal, like your friends, family, or your co-workers. So the system no longer need extreme signals to be heard. It can switch to those restore and expansion mode, rather than always in the protection contracting mode. So summary is not being very loud. It is being clear and early. Being clear early, state your statement. Tell them what you want, what's your expecting, what are you expecting, and what is your boundary. You can say it in the nice way, but clarity, clear, and early. So you can say, so your body feels better. It doesn't need your body to to compensate for it. And in next episode, I will talk about one of the biggest submarine triggers of all, money. And it's really about the numbers. It's more about those things. So if you notice certain patterns repeating or certain situation where your voice disappears, this is the work I explore. I help people to explore on one-on-one. So I invite you. You can check out my website and we can talk more. And you can have more clarity on how sovereign help you, how you gain more energy back, how your system, how you can manifest a life you truly desires and your relationship you truly wants. Thank you. If you have any question, you can also ask me. I do these lives every Tuesday. Yeah. Thank you. Bye.